Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody.
Greetings,
Hello.
greetings, internets. Welcome to yet another long-anticipated episode of Team X,
Shit, yes, it
the
was long.
Chandlerwood Chronicles, a Dungeons and Dragons adventure, one that we took a brief break from, that we were going to do a one-shot, which turned into a 3-part, 5-part one-shot, and then another single one-shot, and now we're back with the Chandlerwood crew. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome. For those of you who are joining us again, thank you very much. And for those of you who are listening on the podcast, be warned that this program contains adult language, as well as awful puns and cringeworthy innuendo.
Yes,
So I am
Mostly
your
from
DM.
clues.
mostly from Brian
Ah,
and
Uh,
and then yeah.
So I am your DM this evening, Saint Brian. To my whatever direction,
Left.
right, to my right, for those of you viewing at home.
That would be me, I think.
Yes.
What would be your left, viewers right?
Entirely
I am,
unimportant.
I am Bob the Ninja Goldfish. I will be playing Corbin Oakenthane, the Hill Dwarven Monk Bard. I do want to make a bit of an apology. I was very sick earlier in the week. My throat is still a little bit tender, which means I may not be able to do his accent for the whole show. So I want to apologise for that ahead of time. And just to throw things completely out of whack, I'm going to throw it to Viking Goat.
Hi. I play Thunic Gentle Trunk. And wait, what exactly am I supposed to say here? Hi.
About it.
You.
And
Toss it to someone.
No,
yes,
just-
I will toss
You've
it
already messed up.
upwards. To Drenmai Gemweaver.
Okay, I'm playing Dread My Gem Weaver, a tinkering gnome sorcerer. And down to my kitty corner.
Hey, thing, we made an X right there.
We did! Team X.
It's almost like I planned it.
Right, it's almost like Bob is super good at this shit. I am.
Don't tell anyone.
Right,
It'll ruin my reputation.
Shit, fuck, I'm sorry. Oh no. I'm Blind Cleric. I play Hugon Valander, the human fighter, who is working
One day
through
my
some.
camera will refocus.
Yes.
Rip camera.
Yeah,
Today's not that day.
maybe it is in focus. Maybe
Do
that's
this.
just what Bob looks like.
Maybe I am out of focus. That's what makes it scary.
This is what my vision used to look like.
God, we're a bunch of goddamn clowns.
There we go.
Oh well.
It's amazing.
So, when we last left our heroes, for those who need a bit of a reminder, because I think we all need a
We all
reminder.
do.
No, actually, I remember.
They had accepted a contract to.
Will you guys invest in one of these, please?
I have one.
Notebook.
I know what's
Right here.
happening.
Right here. It's all kept in here.
I reviewed my notes.
But for those who, when we last left our heroes, they had accepted their first contract from the Home Office to help provide security for a negotiation between the Emerald Enclave and between a group of mages from the Academy Ren Subtilia to see if it'd be possible for them to build a new mage academy in the Chandlerwood. There seem to be some issues that were going to need to be worked out.
And then the circle approached us prior to the meeting and was like, "We need you to do something else," and offered us a side contract that we had to sign for extra security, I believe it was, or just like
No, they were just briefing you on what the main security risk was, and it was that one of the local lords outside of Elboulder named Zedram Kai had a concern in the potential negotiations, and they were worried about him attempting to influence the negotiation one way or the other, and they wanted to make sure that his influence was left out. The two Centaur negotiators. So, Corbin,
Yes.
you find yourself atop a mountain. And Thunic,
Yep.
You too find yourself standing atop a mountain
Oh boy, I need a pen.
next to Corbin. And it is a sky that continually is changing from roiling clouds to storm um, uh, to clear blue, no cloud in the sky. Just it's constantly changing almost at a moment's notice, but you're not feeling like any kind of wind. It's actually very quiet and calm and serene despite this rapidly changing sky around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look from the top of this mountain, both of you can look around and you can see it's surrounded by dense forest. And when you look out, you can see the cities of Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep and and Neverwinter, and you can see all of these cities all over the continent of Faerun.
So, being that I am from the outskirts of Waterdeep,
Mm-hmm.
is this a mountain that actually exists?
It is not one that you have recognized from the topography around Waterdeep.
Okay.
It almost seems like a mountain that's standing by itself. I mean, you can see other mountain ranges around. It's almost like if you choose to focus on something, suddenly you can see the Sword Mountains. And if you decide you're going to look over in this direction, you can see Neverwinter very, very clearly. But then if you decide to change, so it's almost like, if you hold your hand in front of your face, you can choose to focus on your hand, or you could choose to focus on something a little bit further in a distance without really having to change like what you're looking at. It's almost like that. As you choose to look at different depths of field, it's almost like you're changing the f-stop of your eye, and you're able to focus in on different areas.
So it's a Palantir scenario.
I was going to say it sounds a lot like how they show off Heimdall's powers or his vision in the comics.
Yeah, probably very
Look
similar to
and
that.
sees.
I prefer the Palantir scenario.
100% with familiar with Palantir.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Well, I mean, yeah, that. But beyond that, though, like
He's
function.
never actually used one, is what he's trying to say.
Well, they're pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure he's never used Heimdall's powers either.
Yeah.
Poser. To be fair, of all of us, he's probably the one that's most likely to have used.
Right.
Other than the fact that everyone in Asgard was played by an Englishman.
Also true. Also true.
Except Thor.
That's true.
Who was played by an Australian. Because fuck it, right?
Might as well.
Apparently, there are no Scandinavian actors. Skarsgård. Anyways,
Unheard of. Can we see the Chandlewood from where we are?
you can.
Oh.
And when you choose to focus, like you can see the Chandlewood, and then you can see like Pinedale snap into focus, and so you can see the different areas of geography. And as best you guys can tell, where this mountain is, there really should not be a mountain. Like there should be anything but this mountain there. A mountain of this size would be somewhere on a map. So you're, as best you can tell, this mountain is not one that exists.
So I'm just going to look over at Corbin. Is this a dream?
This bullshit again.
That's a dream. Okay.
That's a dream.
I'm gonna disbelieve you.
Of course, it's not so much disbelieving the dream, but as much as with the lucid dreaming, you are aware, fully aware that it is.
It's very much a dream.
It is very much a dream. Yes.
And so I just look at it and I go, well, when was the last time a mountain popped out of nowhere under your feet and summoned two people to it?
Thonuk's going to drop down sit down in the nearest rock and really start thinking about this.
Good. I'm going to try and focus
Okay.
on specific people.
Smart.
Let's
Okay.
start
Is this like
with-
hawk vision that they have that they can like
Well, this is
see?
what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna start with Dren.
Um. Do a perception check. I think it'd be the way to go on that.
19.
19. So, you turn and orient yourself to where Pinedale would be, and it's like, yeah, it snaps into focus. Where okay, now you're looking at that. Um, I guess almost imagine it's like a kind of like a keyhole satellite where they're able to kind of like zoom in, and you are able to see Drenmai, and it's almost like you're
What am I
seeing
doing?
different versions of her. There's the version where she's happily tinkering away in her shop. Then it snaps into a quickly a different version of her tinkering, but this time it looks like her shop is filled with these arcane implements of destruction. Is the only way to really describe that. And then it snaps again, and it's just her. The shop is dark and it's empty, and it's her crying in the corner. And it snaps again, and it's back to her tinkering again. And it snaps again, and she's got a husband and children. And it snaps again, and it's someone different entirely. So it's like you're almost cycling through the different possibilities
Okay.
of what could potentially be.
Then I have one more person I want to focus on.
Yeah.
Marcus Valander.
That's even worse. Damn it! I was like, don't.
What
pick
were you thinking?
I was
Oh,
like,
don't
don't
pick
pick me. Don't pick me.
You don't want to see the places I've been.
Don't choose me. Do another perception check for that.
Oh shit!
22.
Why does everyone else get to learn about my character's grandfather? Like,
You need to start doing history checks on yourself. I roll for myself.
Does your family not have one of those big books of genealogy?
That's
no.
a weird euphemism. Go and start doing history checks on yourself.
Credit histories. You know, very important.
Anyone set up the innuendo counter yet?
Gotta test that genealogy if you know
Okay.
what I'm saying.
So you're unable to locate a specific location for Marcus Valander, but you almost can sense a hole in reality where there would be a Marcus Valander. It's you can sense that there is a Marcus Valander out there. You're unable to pinpoint a location. And it's almost like it's a Marcus Valander shaped hole in reality.
Okay.
Where what you felt when you looked for Dren, it was you got this sense of fullness of what could be there. And in the case of when you looked at this Marcus Valander, it's like the absence of that. Yeah.
So the absence of him is the evidence there almost.
In that, yeah. So it's like dark matter. You know, the fact that they can't measure it, they know that there's something there, but they can't quite measure it.
Right.
It's yeah.
I lied. There's one more person I want to look for,
Oh no.
and you know who it is.
Jim Darkmagic?
No.
I don't know who it is.
And I just want to know if she's okay.
You see the same possibilities where she's safe reading a book. She's having a heart-to-heart conversation with another female. She's having a conversation with she's consoling a weeping friend of large build. She's there's one where she's passed peacefully of old age. There's one where she's engaged in combat. So you're seeing the same fullness of possibility
Alright.
there. Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
You're suddenly interrupted with Thuna going, "Wait! No, that was a dire mole hill. Never mind."
There was that time I sat on a turtle.
I like turtles.
And as you're on this mountaintop, you suddenly start to feel, or not suddenly, but it's more of a gentle acceleration of wind, where from each of the cardinal directions, the wind starts to pick up. It starts as a gentle breeze. You feel it in your beard. You feel it in your hair. You feel it on your skin, and it slowly starts to pick up volume, intensity. I guess the wind would slowly start to pick up intensity. So both of you make perception checks for me. And Thunuk, you would actually get advantage on this
Okay.
on this check.
Just for expedience,
19.
2 20s. Oh wow. Hold on. So just for expedience, I rolled 2 20s.
What? Okay. Oh, 19.
No, I did roll 2 20s. I rolled 2 20s. 2 20s. I both got 19s on both. That's just bizarre.
Okay. And Corbin,
I got 19 total.
19 total. Okay.
22 total.
Okay. So the winds that you feel, again, they're coming from each cardinal direction, and you can actually pick up something. Each wind seems to have its own characteristic. There's one that is a wind of chaos. There's one that's a wind of order, one of violence, one of peace. There's one, but it's like multiple characteristics. Like there's one that feels like the winter wind, the spring, summer. One is, each wind seems to be representing different facets of nature, of the universe, and they all start to combine at this mountaintop. And where they combine, they start to launch. They go almost in this updraft, twisting and roiling together and weaving. And as they do this, you can see sparks kind of flashing off where these different winds are coming into contact with each other. And it's a combination of wonderful and terrifying all at once. You have this deep sense of awe and dread it's kind of at the same time. And finally, the column of air ignites, but you're not burned. It's like right in front of you. You're like, this is like not a large mountaintop. This is right in front of you, but it ignites in front of you, and it's almost like it's changing. Like as you slow, like if you can never really stand still, right? It's all like, even if you're standing like what you call perfectly still, you're still your weight shifts a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and as you're doing that, each time like you change it, like, you get a slightly different view of this column of flame. And it could be, sometimes it seems to be like this dark burning flame of shadow, and other times, depending on how you're catching it, it looks to be almost unbearably bright. And then it seems to almost fall into like this balanced flame that's neither too bright nor like this almost absence of light. And it's constantly shifting, but between almost these three, along the spectrum of being like this ghostly shadow flame and this ethereal, almost too bright. Like if you were to see this on its brightest end, during real life, you would probably go blind looking at this, but it's not blinding you. It's in this dream situation.
Thunuk's going to reach out and sort of a little bit closer just to see if it's any warmer. As if, like, he's almost touching it.
Yeah, you don't. It's not any warmer, but as you get close, it almost like draws your hand like onto it, where you can feel it's not burning. It doesn't burn your hand, but you can feel like it's tingling. If you've ever had a TENS unit attached to you, where you ever seen them where they do like the electric shocks to like muscle stimulation and things like that?
Oh yeah, Bruce Lee used to use those things.
Yeah. That's almost what it feels like in your hand, like this thing cranked up all the way, where you're feeling almost like this uncontrolled, like it's like your muscles are almost incontrollably convulsing, but not in a painful way. And you're feeling when you touch it, where you're touching it, it's no longer like the shadow flame, it's no longer the bright flame, it's just like this calm natural flame right where you're touching it, like in the immediate area, while everything else continues to roil about. Your touch has stabilized it in that one section.
Since like my touch has affected it, can Thuna grasp it?
There's really nothing to grasp. I mean, it's you can feel that you're in contact with something, but it's not like you can like grab a piece of it or anything like that. It's form, it's substance without substance is the only way to really describe this.
Do I sense a consciousness to it?
Do a perception check.
So your earlier hopes are realized.
Nice. Nat 20. Well done.
Thank you.
You are
Oh,
sensing...
that'd be cool. Wait, whoever's doing the EDR, do the emote for our Bwomp.
Oh.
I can't.
I can.
We're not subscribed to Penny Arcade.
No, but no, not the Bwomp. Our Pinecone.
Oh,
yeah.
It's our
Bwomp.
Our Bwomp.
Our Bwomp.
There it is.
Thank you.
Max Bwomp. Cone.
I can do that. Cone. Yes.
No.
That sounds.
No, we're not doing
possibly.
So while he's doing all this like prodding and shit, I'm just gonna look at the window and go, "What the fuck do you want?"
At the wind?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you shouting this? Is this more or less like a...
It's just fucking again. Really? We've had one dream thing, then some fucking dumbass dude who wouldn't answer any fucking questions turns up at the food truck, and then I've got a bunch of centaurs that are high and fucking mighty, and then I've got to deal with some fucking druids, and I've got a gnome that can't keep her hands to herself and really likes being covered in fucking chocolate. I've got a guy that would much rather stab something with a fucking pole arm than talk to it. I've got a guy that would rather shove a flower up his ass than do anything. I've got a bunch of teammates. What the fuck do you want?
And you get an answer to this question, but it comes from Thunuk. And it's not you speaking, Thunuk, but you are looking for this consciousness. And you feel something of, it's almost like it's an amalgamation of four voices. And it says to you through Thunuk, using Thunuk as a medium, I need you to protect me.
Down.
Sir.
Chill. It's I I need you to protect me. I need you to watch over
Who are you?
over the possibilities. I don't know. I I don't know who I am. I don't.
How the fuck
We,
am I supposed to protect you? You don't know who you are. What are you being threatened by?
I feel dark intention. I feel those who would corrupt.
The dude that came to town yesterday, was that your doing?
I don't know.
And I freely offer up an image in my brain.
And there's a Thunic, there's a feeling of warmth that comes through you because you're connected to this entity right now, and there's a
Mhm.
warm feeling. And then still using your voice says, uh, "No."
And who was he?
And again, this greater feeling of warmth comes through you, Thunic, and through your voice, the entity says, "A friend."
Of yours? Because I'm sensing massive inverted commas around that.
Verted.
Like, if you had arms, you'd be doing this, right?
No.
Two
You just see
columns
the
of
little like
flame.
ghostly
Oh,
flame things. Woo, woo.
Friend.
When Corbin offered up the image, does Thunuk see the image?
Yes.
Does Thunuk recognize this person?
Yeah, it was the old man from
The old weirdo who was not helpful
Well,
at
That's
all.
who you're referencing,
Yeah.
correct?
I mean, beyond that, because he's feeling warmth when he's seeing this image.
No, it's more of a sense of camaraderie,
Oh,
of
Kinship, maybe?
yeah. So it's the feeling when you have that brother in arms, someone that is as close as family, but closer because you've chosen them as opposed to an actual blood relation.
hmm
Um, so you get the impression there were no air quotes. I'm trying to think of how we can communicate this to Corbin that there were no air quotes, other than the fact that Corbin, you don't sense air quotes in this situation.
All right, so
If there's a way to
so
sense air
you say
quotes,
you don't know who you are, but you apparently have friends that were way too powerful for us to deal with, and yet you come to us for protection. What's going on here, man? Woman, thing, nature, person,
It's
they.
quest.
I'm just gonna
They.
call you Dave. Is that okay?
Says
Pronoun.
I am yet to be that.
Oh, so you're a nascent thing.
Yes.
So you don't exist yet, but you have the power to pull me and my friend into a dream and talk to us, and you need our help. Do you know how stupid that sounds?
Maybe it's a Plano thing.
I didn't pull you into this.
So how do we get here?
And you get a projection back of the old man.
Oh.
It's the old man.
One day I'm gonna
Dick
find
Minster.
that man. I'm gonna kick him in his dick.
And
Dick punch.
Thunuk, you feel like this entity release.
hmm
It's almost like if you have a container and you're like trying to like pull something out of the container, but when you let go, it like slides right back in. Like it wants to be in this container. It was almost like a strain on itself to have it outside of this vessel that it's this metaphysical vessel.
Mhm.
And when you draw your hand away, there you can see glowing on the back of your hand that was on there is a symbol of the clover. It's the symbol of the four from your pantheon.
Oh,
Corbin's hands go directly in his fucking pockets.
No,
Lucy, that's
no, I'm not playing your games, Fire Thing.
You can't touch my hands.
Fuck you.
it's on the
I
back of his
didn't
hands.
consent to this.
Yeah, on the back of the one hand that was touching that area.
Okay.
It was a good touch. Not a.
No,
not
we're
a-
not going to quantify the touch.
Show me on
quality.
the clover where the,
No,
the,
stop.
the nascent
Show
being
me on the
touched.
clover where you're done.
Nope.
Ugh.
Nope.
Um,
Not doing it.
and Corbin, you awaken in your room. You had fallen asleep at the writing desk that you have set up in your quarters, because as Documancer, you would, of course, have a writing desk.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you?
Right.
It's a simple thing.
Yeah.
But then I imagine Corbin likes simple things
Yeah.
from the time in the monastery.
I think that's accurate.
Nice place to put a book and read.
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
wobble? Did we fix the wobble?
Oh, I've got woodworking tools. I definitely fixed
Okay,
them.
all right. I knew that there was a wobble. I didn't know if you had allowed the wobble to exist
No,
or
no.
if you had
If
destroyed
there
the
is one thing Corbin has been doing for the last 3 months while we've been fucking off playing detectives, it's fixing
Mhm.
fucking tables.
Has it really been 3 months?
would
Yes, yes, it has.
Yes, it has.
would Corbin regularly do work down in the common area at one of the desks? Would he be down in the actual office doing the work, or would he?
Corbin would be doing absolutely anything he can to make our offices livable,
Mhm,
and more importantly, to aid the folk in the bar if
mhm.
they need new tables, new chairs, even if they just need help cleaning, like cleaning tables, just
Mhm.
bussing stuff. Like, he wants to feel helpful.
This is the
Is
kind
Corbin
of
a putterer?
Huh?
Is Corbin a putterer? Like he putters around and then just does
Not
things?
necessarily, but his role within AI
Mhm.
Documancer exists in very finite bursts.
Mm.
So while he's not doing that, and he's not entertaining on the stage, he just likes to feel useful.
Okay,
And
makes sense.
as much as he knows that AI is paying his way, he's used to having to contribute in the monastery. So it's just his way to try and be helpful. It's not puttering around because he can't sit around and be still, because he meditates all the time as well. But it's just he wants to feel like he's contributing to the community almost.
Probably like old habit, right? You were so
Yeah,
used to.
And I said he's been in the monastery for 100
Mhm.
years having help out, so it's like
But when he was actually doing paperwork, would he? Where do you think he would be?
it would depend on the paperwork.
So if he was reviewing mission briefs
Probably in the office.
in the office, okay. So more than likely at this point, that's probably where Corbin woke up at that, at his little work area down there, and the lanterns and candles were like down low. They've almost burned, not completely out, but they're definitely the light is lower. What do you do?
Who else is around?
So this is probably about midnight. You'd probably
Is there
be doing.
anyone else in the office with me?
Would anyone? That's a good question. Would anyone be doing work down in the office? What would everyone's kind of nightly routine be like? This is only like your second or third night in Pinedale, so it's not like.
Thonik would probably be on either in the alley or on the roof.
Being a burb doctor.
It's night. Being a bat doctor.
Bats are birds.
Owl doctor.
Bats or chickens?
Although having owls and bats simultaneously in the same medical facility might be a problem.
I think Thunuk would lay
Has
down the
them next
law
to
and
each
say, like,
other.
this is
Nice.
neutral territory. No.
We
Like
are
the sharks
Sweden.
and the jets.
Yeah, like so
Do you
the
mean
hawks
Swe-
can't
do you mean-
attack the sparrows.
When you say Sweden, do you mean Switzerland?
Or Switzerland. God, the other
Well,
one.
Sweden's
Okay.
Well,
neutral
Sweden's fairly neutral.
in World War II.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anywho,
I'd probably since I'm moving, I'm gonna still keep the shop, but I'm basing night it here. I'd probably be in my room, creating kind of like a new shop esque,
okay,
at least a mini one.
yeah. And Hugon, what would you be doing?
that's a good question. I imagine Hugon has the sort of opposite of Corbin's. Like, Corbin does things because he wishes to feel useful, but he wishes to contribute to the environment that we find ourselves in.
Whereas Hugon likes to feel useless.
No, Hugon would do it because he literally has the inability to, like,
okay, I see what you're saying.
he's got like his entire life, like a routine, a drill, like, make the beds, do this, do this, do this, do this, and following that through the day. Part of the reason he found retirement so interminable is because there was no
Pattern.
His routine had been taken from him.
And sitting still probably allows for some.
Yeah, if you hold still long enough, you start to not like yourself. So, or at least
muddy waters appear clear when still.
Yeah. So probably doing a lot of the same thing that Corbin does.
Mm-hmm.
But
so you might be downstairs in the office, kind of getting things. This is the base of operations. So you're kind of gone in like organization.
Yeah, maybe building an armory or something, or I don't know.
Organizing,
cataloging supplies, pretending to be quartermaster.
So we'll say that Hugon is down there with you, working in one of the corners, organizing, sorting,
and trying to be quiet. Not doing a very good job.
Yeah, aren't you in full like metal armor?
No, not all the time. Like,
okay.
He's hammering armor as he's
just,
sorry.
Yeah, I just see it like all the time. Clang, clang, clang.
No. He's in normal clothes at the moment.
So Hugon would be down there in the office as well.
Then I wouldn't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
I would instantly write a document to head office, file it for transport, and then tell Hugon what happened.
And so the file was just, hey, we had. Oh, so this is just like the log of
what just has been going on.
Right.
After the encounter with the Dream State in the Anvil.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's continued insistence that the four of us are extra fucking special for some reason. And knowing a thing or two about what head office has dealt with between dragons and cloud giant castles and
death curses and
world-ending terrors
and
Tarask
islands that get covered in gas full of chests and other players.
Clones.
Just figured it might be a good idea to keep them in the know.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is addressed for the eyes of OHD only. Even though I know that it's going to get opened by somebody else because that's the way AIL works.
Mm-hmm. Because Viari some point just opens the mail.
There's that too, because he gets.
But he reseals it.
I imagine there's actually
always known.
There's probably an AI form for like documents that's like vision, like describe the vision.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Almost certainly. I mean, like the cold bureaucracy of AI has no match.
But the problem is these aren't visions; they're lucid dreams.
It's true. That's true.
So you're not sure if that's a 106-3C or a 106-3F.
Actually, I'm filing the G under indeterminate.
Okay.
Encounter with a non-terrestrial entity.
Okay.
Yes. See, that's
would you require Thunuk's not signatures, initials in certain places to verify that he also was in this vision
I
or experience.
witnessed this.
And then once that's filed, I will tell Hugon exactly what happened, especially the bits about Marcus Verlander. I will omit the third person I looked at, though.
Right. Because sometimes it's just for you.
Yeah.
I really hate that everyone else seems to know more about my own family than me.
All I know
It makes
about
you
your
feel any better.
lad. All
No,
I know
I'm
about
saying that
your-
in character.
Oh, okay.
All I know about your family, lad, is that they exist.
Right. I'm
And with all due respect, mate, you could find out about as much as me about your family if you picked up one of these occasionally and I throw a book at him.
I catch the book.
There's
Listen,
a whole fucking library about
Roll
a
for
block and a half
dexterity.
away.
Do you
Like,
catch it or
I'm
does
not
it
like
hit you?
throwing it at him. I'm just like,
More like toss.
yeah. There's a whole
Like-
fucking library, like a block and a half away, mate. You can
Like-
find everything you need to know there.
that's the thing.
Knowledge is the best weapon you can ever have.
I know. I agree. Forewarned is forearmed. The mind is the best weapon.
Talk to me, Hugo. What's going on, mate?
My father, and by extension, my grandfather, they didn't really talk too much. The only thing I have of my grandfather is letters,
Okay.
and that's I have no paintings. I don't even know what he looks like. I've never met the man. I've never seen the man.
Okay.
Everywhere I go, trying to find out more.
I don't even know who my mother is.
Right. I'm saying that I haven't been able to find out anything about him, no matter where I look. It's like he doesn't exist.
But does that mean you stop trying?
No, I mean, I specifically, the first thing I did in Pinedale was find a priest who maybe might know him and have him send word. I've tried to get in touch with the Church of Timora and Waterdeep. I know the home office is run by a cleric of Timora. I've been hoping for something. I mean, he's become involved in our lives, and it frustrates and concerns me that I still know nothing. I don't know. I don't have the skills to know how to look for these things. Like I think that's patently obvious. I think you've said it best several times. I'm a hitter. I'm not a thinker.
I would like to invoke my background feat
Mm-hmm.
researcher,
Yep.
where if I don't know a piece of information, I know exactly where to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to give Hugon a few tips on where he might be able to find information about his ancestors.
Okay.
The little +10 Hugon approves appears.
Hugon
yeah,
will remember
on,
this.
Hugon will remember
At
that.
least he better fucking do.
Oh, I got
no,
you.
on the relationship scale, yeah. Remember, it's it's going up.
It climbs.
It climbs. So from your time studying at the monastery, I'm trying to think. The monastery. So your family is from Corbin, the outskirts of
Oakenthane family are
Waterdeep.
from a hill dwarven settlement on the outside of outskirts
Of
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
But they are they've been the ruling family of that settlement for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
As such, they have quite close relationships with most of the places in Waterdeep due to
Yeah,
shipping and stuff like that.
and
The monastery that he studied at is
mhm.
quite a ways away from there, up in some large old mountains.
Okay. So from, and I'm gonna guess that Corbin was probably an studious child as
Yes.
well. Going to okay. Very erudite.
Picked up on some stuff, yeah.
A few things here and there. So so the places where you could point him, obviously, there is always the great repository of Candlekeep. That's always going to be, you know that there's genealogies kept there, and being that Marcus Philander was a cleric of Timora, odds are there's going to, that the various main churches are going to maintain correspondence with Candlekeep, just being that this is learned individuals, either spiritual or secular. But you seem to remember also a dealer of, we'll call them harder to come by books. In oh damn it.
What in the game may be called an antiquities vendor.
Oh, I was going to say stolen.
Well, they could be antiquities.
I was going black market.
Yeah.
and I think all of you are not
sure
incorrect.
Corbin would know nothing about a black market.
No.
Oh, not at all.
Never.
In Skullport.
Okay. Well, I will point these two options out to Hugon.
Uh-oh.
Brian?
Uh-oh.
Brian has
What? I'm still here.
Okay, good.
Oh,
All right.
frozen moment.
Yeah, just
In a really position.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So your two options are to reach out to the folks at Candlekeep, which I know the library here can do for you to make sure that you get the books you're looking for. Otherwise, you're looking for a bonny wee lass in Skullport that I once knew.
I'm not familiar with Skullport.
I will put you in touch with if I can get in contact with her again.
Is that near Waterdeep? Skullport?
I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it.
Waterdeep adjacent.
I've seen the name, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen one reference in a letter.
I would say it is Waterdeep adjacent.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't sound like a great place, but
yes, but neither does the Chondlewood.
It's true.
Or the Sword Coast. It is a coast made of swords. That is not a nice place.
No, you're right. It's not.
And this is a wood made of chondles and
whatever a fuck a chondle is.
Clearly, they're bad. We don't like them. Well, I appreciate that, and I'll take whatever leads that I can get.
And if you need any help with the forms or anything over at the library, let me know. I'll help the best I can.
Do you think slight gleam in Corbin's eyes when he mentions getting to do forms?
I will at this point make my excuses and head upstairs to the bar.
So you gather all your things, all your documents.
I'm thinking I have separate sets.
Yeah.
I have a set in my room and I have a set downstairs. Like, I'll finish the paperwork I'm working on, like the reports, and then I'll just sort of make my excuses. I'll head up to the bar. Is there anybody in the bar?
Well, before you get up to the bar, as you're kind of just organizing your stuff, right? You're not just going to leave a pile of paper on the desk, I'm assuming. Right? You're going to...
Oh, there's like unused parchment?
Well, I mean, so as you're working, like, you're not just going to leave everything out. You're going to, like, get it all kind of together and...
Oh, yeah, no, because it wouldn't have been all just displayed about that, because that's not how Corbin works. It would have been ordered as he worked.
Okay. You, trying to think how to... So you... All right, we'll come back to that. Never mind.
Dick tease.
No. The crowbar wasn't working, so you go upstairs. So it's about midnight. So there's still a few like patrons. They had finished up. That maybe just never made it home. That
I'll
are
just
still like.
sweep up a couple of dirty mugs on the way past and drop them on the bar and
Mhm.
carry on upstairs. And just remembering a couple of things I saw while I was looking off the mountain, I'll stop
Mhm.
outside Clues' door for a second
Mhm.
and
I'm probably invested in whatever I'm doing, but I'm not really good at locks on my doors, so I probably don't pay attention if there's other noises. I might not even have closed the door.
Yeah, like the first knock just.
Yeah.
It just yeah, it just kind of opens, and I'm focusing whatever it is.
and
I'm
you have one
working
of those moments where I'm stood there like dunk, and the door opens and I'm just like
on.
Monk casts
Oh.
foot.
Yeah, I'm not really good on the door thing.
so I'll kind of lean around the door frame and just see that she's there and see that she's busy working and just quietly close the door and sort of just go to my room.
I'm just imagining like Dren sitting there, like the welding goggles down, and just like
Yeah.
sparks, like but almost like these mystical sparks, right?
Yeah.
Like
Has she tried to steal Hugon's shit again?
No.
Okay,
You had your last upgrade, and
No.
and I have to go through the process of thinking about other stuff.
That's fine, because it needs to be said that that's still not a thing.
Or upgrading other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Don't
other
let me
people that
catch
need to be
you.
tinkered.
That's still not that's a no-no still.
and just out of curiosity, Corbin, where would you keep the mission briefings?
Well, there would be a place to send information to acquisitions.
Okay, no,
right?
okay, so not I'm using the wrong term. So the mission contracts that you get from the home office,
Oh, I'd keep them in my documenter bag.
and that's always on you.
Unless I'm asleep, in which case it's right near me, yeah.
Okay. So you proceeding to your
Proceeding to my room.
room. So
Which, if I'm at Dren's door, shouldn't be too far away.
yeah, it's all the rooms are upstairs, kind of very, very close to each other. And give me a perception check. As you put the bag down, give me a perception check.
Except for Thadux is at the end of the hallway because he's so large. He needs that whole section to himself.
Yeah, he has a double.
He has two.
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 No.
2.
20.
Oh, a 20.
20?
He has a 2. I was like, that's a first.
My camera's at a weird angle, which is why I'm having
So you notice that the mission briefing for the contract you accepted for the negotiation, you have it, rolled up and filed in the bag. But you notice that the one corner of the paper almost seems to be peeling back a little bit, almost like you could peel the paper apart.
I instantly turn around and head back to Dren.
Okay.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
No,
on
it's
the
actually
door.
closed. Oh God. Goggles off. Kind of like me. I might have had a little bit too much, whatever the equivalent of coffee is.
Stagger, fall. Stagger, fall.
Open the door.
Okay,
Eh?
right. Ever seen this before? And I show her the corner of the contract.
Interest
You're more
is
familiar with this AI tech than I am.
yeah. Interest instantly peaked and snatches it, goes over to the workbench.
No.
You do not
Like,
touch.
you can put your hands on it all you want, and I will physically lift you off the ground by the scroll tube.
Little
I'm
legs
like-
kicking.
I'm like,
No, I want the
I'm like-
the paper.
Dren, what did we say about snatching?
Can I look at it?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
And I give it to her.
Okay.
The scroll.
Waddle-
The scroll.
I wasn't even going there, but okay. Here we are now.
All
This
right,
is now a
in the
thing
window.
that I have to think about. So
Exclamation point innuendo.
Don't worry, I'll add it by the while we take a break. I'll add it during the break because you have the current count, right? Somewhere?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh,
no,
two.
like
There
in
have been way-
total.
There have been way
Yeah.
more.
Oh, no,
than
no,
you.
no.
There's
you're
way
totally-
more than two.
Whether you've caught them all or not is another matter.
Yeah.
no, yeah. I was just talking for today.
Those tuning in.
Oh
for
no,
the
there's
first
been
time-
more than 2 today.
For those that have been tuning in for the first time, this is exactly what we're talking about. This is the quality
Yeah.
entertainment. that we get
This is what.
As I mentioned earlier, we're a bunch of goddamn clowns.
Yes.
Anywho, so you give her the.
Okay, so is this something that I've ever seen working with before in the contracts?
No, you have not seen this before. This is new.
Okay, I'm
And it
gonna
looks
tell.
like- so it's like the paper feels like it's of normal width, like a normal thickness, right? But you've never seen it where it's been able to almost like peel. It's if you can almost imagine, it's like the protective layer, like on your phone, like when you first get.
Yeah.
That's kind of. What
I
it's
have
like.
this instant need to want to peel it, but I'm gonna restrain myself.
Actually,
That's satis-
give me a willpower check.
Oh no.
You bastard.
Shit. I
She
don't
is
have
chaotic attack.
willpower. Yeah, that is true. Okay, I got an 11.
It's not enough.
I will assist.
Okay. Like,
No,
By
hands
literally
on
grabbing
shoulders.
her hand.
Mhm.
if that shit says explosive runes underneath,
I said, look at the scroll.
Okay, I okay,
You
I
look
got
at
a
their eyes,
19
not
on
her
that
hand.
one. So my willpower was reminded.
But there's still that little. but I
It's
kinda wanna-
it's deep.
Look,
It's
if there's someone
deep-seated.
destroying a scroll around here, it's the document, alright?
right? There's a special
That's true.
form.
I have a form to fill out about destroyed forms, so
I'm gonna kind of I'm at my work table and I'm kind of looking at it, and then I'm not really gonna turn to him, but like, well, Bruce, this is not something I've ever seen before.
okay.
Get
Odd.
a little bit of a corner before you were able to fully stop her. She was able to like kind of get like a tiny little bit, and it revealed what appears to be the corner of some writing in the corner.
What kind of language does it look like?
Not enough to discern at this point.
Okay.
I wanna do some do a bit of Arcana checks on this. 21.
It's been there's some kind of enchantment on that second piece of paper, like that bottom layer, that feels. What'd you roll again?
21.
21. Yeah,
I got
that-
17, add 4.
Yeah, yeah, there's something on there. There's something about that leads you to believe that it's meant to be triggered only by specific people. But you do not pick up any malicious intent.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Bruce again that someone has to reveal this, but I don't know who.
I'd like to thank you for calling him Bruce because I
I
completely forgot.
still know him as Bruce
Still-
Willis.
I mean, it's the only name that he's ever given us.
Yeah, I
Bruce
forgot
Willis.
about that. Yeah.
Bruce
It's
Willis.
literally
not
in
Bruce
my
Willis.
notes.
All one word.
all one
no
word.
spaces.
All one word.
Yeah,
All one word.
I'm
Bruce
still
Willis.
shortening it. Bruce Willis.
God damn it! It's amazing.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I'll also say there is some kind of sorcery on that second page that's hidden.
do you know what kind?
And
of
as you can
magic?
see, let's roll for it. So, do you just want like another Arcana check? Or no, well, you told me it wasn't evil, so I'll say it's nothing
There's no ill intent.
untowards.
No ill
There's
intent.
no ill intent.
But like, what school of magic? Like transmutation, conjuration.
Detect magic on that. Yeah.
What do you want to check on?
You would need to do detect magic to determine the school of magic.
Detect magic.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that as a skill set.
It's a spell.
It's a spell. I don't have it as a spell.
All right then.
That is not one that I have. Okay. Well, I can at least, say that I'm pretty sure it's not trying to kill us. But it has to be revealed by...
I'm not there. So
Yeah. You're not there.
All right, so I'm gonna look at her and go.
I'm going to hand it over.
Ready?
rip.
And I'll take one finger. I'll take
Yeah.
one corner. I go, oh. And just in case this blows us both up, my real name's Corbin.
What? You son of a bitch!
Satisfaction!
That's how he's going to reveal it. Wow.
Okay,
And-
what happened?
I don't even get to be around for it. Ugh.
Blow up. No,
That's
you don't
true.
blow up.
That's true.
No, you peel it off,
Oh.
and it is what looks to be some kind of code, in that it's not actual words but symbols.
Okay.
But it appears to be coded, and there is at the bottom of this paper there are 4 boxes, and each one underneath it has a symbol underneath of it. There's the one of the symbols is of a lantern, one is of a halberd, one is of a clover, and one is a dwarven rune.
Oh boy. I'm gonna be like, I get this part. Thinking.
So I'm gonna take a moment because I know what the dwarven room means already.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna look around the workstation that Dren was working on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that she had some sort of like residue soot kind of thing on there.
Oh yeah, it's
He's-
filthy.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab like a pinch.
There's
of
also an
soot.
ink pot over there.
There's also I'll grab a pinch of soot
Mm-hmm.
and I pull some salt out of a bag on my desk, out
Mhm.
of my pouch.
Mhm.
Sprinkle it over the document,
Mhm.
and as I do that, the world kind of like shimmers out of focus for a moment, and I
Mhm.
see these like these almost like cosmic strings appear in
Mhm.
front of me,
Mhm.
and what Dren can actually see is I reach out and I start playing the air like a harp, and ghostly music comes out,
Mhm.
and I cast comprehend languages.
Oh, okay.
To read the paper.
Such a convenient spell.
Mm.
And what you so the symbols kind of shift and change and move around, and
And-
and it starts to spell out words.
Just to be
And
clear,
it's-
there was actual music coming out of nothingness as I cast the spell.
Yeah. And it says, "Damn it, Corbin, get the rest of your team, OHD."
God damn it.
I'm so confused. Like, what?
Oh, I have a feeling that this message can change given its
Okay.
who's
Now I'm not.
around.
I understand.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, I owe that man it. I just say out loud, well, I owe that man a kick in the crotch.
Check that off. See Omen, kick in nuts.
Um. I look at Dren, and I hand her the scroll, and I'm like, take this to the meeting room. I'm gonna go get the others. Looks like we got something else to find out.
Indeed. I'm gonna grab it and head downstairs.
And Pikey should already be down there. Piker should already be down there. And I'm just gonna boom 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 on Thinnock's door. Big man, you awake?
Remember, Thunix on the roof. That's meta,
When it's
but
in the birdhouse. Birdhouse.
I know it's meta.
Yeah.
And after I don't hear anything for a minute, I'm gonna be like,
If I was a 400-pound big thing,
I'm gonna go into my room. I'm gonna go into my room, lean out the window, and go, "Big man, you awake?"
Oi!
Gigantic head of hair comes over the side, like, "Hi."
We need you.
Loom.
We need you downstairs in the office. Message from head office.
I've got a patient, but I'll be back. I'll be right down.
Bring the fucking patient.
you're a squawk.
I'm gonna. Be right down. Be right down.
Aye. Don't fall. And
I just picture him hanging over the edge so his hair's up and he looks like a troll.
Like a giant troll doll.
from Don King.
God, that's amazing.
So yeah, and after I've told him, I'll head down to the office as well.
Okay. So you all gather in the office, and you have the piece of paper there. And from what you gather, it looks like this needs to be triggered somehow with these boxes.
I'm gonna poke my lantern. Just touch it. Does anything
With
happen?
the lantern?
No, with my finger.
the symbol.
I'm doing this to the paper.
Oh yeah, and so when you do that, like the box that has your symbol on it, like lights up with like a facsimile of your fingerprint, not your actual.
I've probably been doing this the entire time while they were coming
Yeah, it was
downstairs,
turning on,
like it's
turning
going
off,
on and
turning
off,
on,
on and
Bed
off.
goes up, bed goes down. Bed goes up, bed goes down.
When they come in, I'm just gonna kind of look at them. Look, think, think, think.
Yeah, and
think,
like
think,
the
think.
outline of it, like the icon and the box itself, kind of like light up as you touch it.
Oh boy.
Thunix very excited.
That's it. See, Thunix along there with my amusement.
Paper lights up.
Hugon looks at Corbin or Bruce. Excuse me. What do you think? Should we?
Dink, dink,
Should we
dink,
touch
dink,
it?
dink, dink.
I mean,
It's not killed the gnome yet.
fair, but
Canary in the coal mine.
what's?
And I'm pretty sure we know whose is whose.
Yeah.
Kind of says a lot about what he thinks about us, really.
We're just symbols.
Yep.
Totally doesn't
Just
care.
sees you as a
Dink, dink, dink,
blade.
dink, 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 dink.
Yeah, I got it.
It's a pity that. You're much more than that.
Thank
Now
you.
You need to realise that as well. And I touch the paper. Under the dwarven room.
Seeing that no one else has died, or like,
Hang on. I touch the paper under the dwarven rune, and then I instantly mimic her. Like, fuck! I just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess we're in it together. And he reticently touches the paper.
And that one lights up, and the symbols.
That's where we're gonna go to break.
No.
Yay, break!
And they
Really?
the
Oh,
symbols
okay.
the symbols coalesce and kind of shift around and form words, and it reads, Zedram Kai is a potential black market hub. Illegal goods, human trafficking, dangerous magic artifacts, etc. More intelligence is required before action is taken. Lord's Alliance has contracted Ackink Home Office to develop intelligence resources within his court, develop resources on the ground for ongoing surveillance, funnel all gathered intel through Secretarian, and then it has like information about ongoing payment for this particular job.
Where the shit is my paper? Oh, there it is. And Zedran Kai, if I recall correctly, he was the one who was like, we were all worried, or rather the druids were worried about influencing the meeting.
The
Right?
Centaurs, yes.
They were worried about that.
The
Specifically.
local lord.
Yeah, he has lands outside of Elboulder. So he's not like,
He's far off.
well, a couple days ride. I mean, it's not like he's like closer. He's
But
closer
it
to
involves
the
going
Chondam.
back through the Jundlewood.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, a couple days ride through a Death World forest.
No, but you remember that the Centaurs had said that he's actually going to be in town for this negotiation. So
Okay, how do you spell his name?
Zedram, Zedrim.
Okay.
Last name is Kai, Kai.
Zedram Kai, local lord.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Thought you were gonna say Zephyr Cochrane for a moment there.
I had to go Cobra Kai.
Now he's in charge of Elboulder, right?
No, he's not in charge of Elboulder.
He's just located near Elboulder.
Yes,
The
yeah, he has
lord
lands.
that is in charge of Elboulder is called Lord Amasis.
Yes. Versus Countess Dugar.
Gotcha.
And then at the end of it, it does say -OHD. Eyes only.
This form will now self-destruct.
Actually, it does say that.
Yes!
And
I
then
shove
the
it in Thunnock's pants.
Amazing.
it's not so much that it blows up as much as the writing then disappears.
Okay.
I
So-
then inform Dren of the vision, the dream that I had that was shared with Big Man. It seems that we're caught in the nexus point of a lot of bad shit.
We're being unnecessarily singled out.
I don't know. Sounds like a target-rich environment to me.
Starting to get on my
Very.
fucking nerves.
That happened to you too?
Oh wait, you two didn't talk after?
Mm-mm.
No,
This is our first-
No.
Oh, okay.
And Thunuk looks at the back of his hand one more time.
Nothing there.
For now.
We need sound effects. I want a soundboard.
Like a little keyboard.
Alright,
Well, if you told me the whole thing, I'm gonna ask
except for the one person I looked at, yeah.
um
And I do mention that I looked in on you.
what was they doing?
And I describe exactly what she was doing from just all the different types of things.
Like, I've never been married.
You've probably never been dead either.
That's true.
Well, there was that one time.
That was not. Well, that's what I was thinking about. Like
Two
my
minutes,
history
I
of,
was
like,
clinically dead,
There-
but
No, about the marriage thing. Like, where there could have been. Okay, we'll talk about that later. What about the symbols that showed up? And I'm gonna look at Thanuk.
What symbols?
He looked at the back of his hand.
I didn't see that.
No. But I thought Thanuk was telling me as well.
Oh no. Thunuk just looks at the back of his hands like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bird and bat blood. Like, shit.
Poop. Guano. Okay.
On that topic, there is a owl that he is like in his shirt.
Aww.
It looks way too tussled. Like he saw the wrong end of something.
Aw. And he's kind of just like looking around scared, but kind of happy that he's
included in this event. We should probably have to kill the owl. He saw it.
God.
Hey.
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Sick Rozzy on you while you're sleeping.
I could probably hit it from 100 meters. That way they wouldn't know it was us.
Thank you. See, we have people in the chat saying not that owl.
Oh, yay!
Okay, well, there's not really much I can do.
Should we talk about the whole human trafficking?
Bob has a mouse pointer on him, apparently.
I do not.
Not anymore.
No.
Uh-uh.
My mouse pointer. I know what the problem is. It's picking up my mouse pointer from another window.
Oh.
Let's see if it disappears.
Is that better?
I can't see it. We have a delay.
It moved, yeah. So yeah, we're good.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, this quality programming was brought to you by EatDrinkRoll.
This is why the podcast is better, because we edit all this crap out.
Moving forward,
human trafficking. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Can we also point out about the fact that Owen didn't say he wanted us to stop it, just to investigate
keep an eye on it.
and
Yeah.
maybe
This is
make
true.
contact?
No, I picked right up on that.
He could also be we could just be the investigative side if there's another taking care of
I'm
group.
done being the you guys need to protect me from XYZ thing. Like, I just want to have a job and deal with my own fucking problems for once.
We have a whole list of contracts if you want.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there is so fucking much going on. I just want to be like, fuck it. I don't care if the world ends. I just want to have, like, a beer. No, because I don't drink beer. I just want to have a coffee and...
I don't drink. That's not to say you don't drink anymore.
I just want to have a coffee and, like, hang out and...
Read a book.
See my friends and... I don't know.
I will remind... I think I'm still going to call him Bruce Willis for now, because he hasn't revealed it to anyone else. I feel like Bruce Willis. You did kind of sign up for this. It's
No, I signed up to be a member of Acquisitions Incorporated. I didn't sign up to be some old pigeon man's fucking whipping boy that gets sent to the top of a mountain to have a conversation with fucking wind. My
Fine.
sister is the shaman, not me.
true.
She wants to go have a conversation with the fucking elements. Bang on her. Phrasing. But I'm here to fucking earn a wage and deal with my own fucking issues.
Well, let's well, where was the contract that where was the human trafficking going on that he wants us to investigate?
The guy that's in town for the fucking druid magic seminar.
Okay, so he's coming
fuck.
into town.
Bollocks
We've
shit.
said human trafficking a couple of times now. Is it specifically humans?
That's what it said in the note.
Okay.
That's true.
Unless we have evidence to the otherwise, that is how we have to treat it.
We are investigating it, so it could be non
Almost like that's a
species
job.
specific. So
I don't know, man. Like, I'm just.
maybe some of this is all put together. For all we know, the river giant's friend could be included in this, and that's why they're missing.
Well, if he's in town, let's just go. Let's make overtures.
No, I've already tried looking for his family because I got his badge number, but no one seems to know.
We have a lot of missing things. The watch, the keepers, the river giant's friends. It could all be tied.
Well, let's go talk to this Kai guy. I mean, like,
What time is it right now?
Like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, probably
Not now.
1 o'clock in the morning.
I say we need to sleep. Because it's tomorrow, today, that they're coming into town.
Yeah, later on. It'll be later on in the day.
Okay, so we probably need to get a little bit of rest. And there
we're
might
gonna
be a
see the
reason
dude
that,
tomorrow anyway.
yeah, all of these things are missing,
Right.
except for the giant spider legs. That's just something
We're
I
not
don't
doing
wanna
that.
do.
Fuck spiders. No. He wants to increase the pricing of that by like 40 or 50%, maybe.
Just to go after the giant spiders.
The
It's
cart's
not-
still open.
still a gold piece per giant spider leg.
Fuck giant spiders. Okay.
Is the
They're
cart
tasty.
still open?
Oh, Groom Shroom's Toasty Treats?
Yeah.
He might be going for last call at this moment.
In that case, I'm gonna get some breakfast.
Okay.
Because the kitchen is never open when I wake up. So I always buy something the night before to have cold in the morning.
Ah, okay. I see what you're doing. Okay.
Then I guess with that, I'll go back upstairs, and I need to prep a few things in my room before I go to bed.
And I just look over at her and give her a wink. Say,
Like, Hugon's like, what the fuck was that?
Why are they friends now?
Like, I didn't hear about this.
Where was I?
Where was I?
That looks like, is there something in your eye?
Yeah, he's gonna basically. Yeah, I was actually going to say he really horribly mimics what Corbin just did. He's like,
I'll pat Fiddick's leg on the way out.
we need to work on that, sweetie.
We'll work on that later.
and he does the same thing to Hugon because he's now convinced this is some sort of way to say good night.
Stop.
This is like the group's secret handshake.
I go back to finding menial tasks to do.
So essentially, everyone's turning in for the evening.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Then at that time, that's a good time for us to take a break.
Break time!
Cool.
So we will take a quick break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the folks of us who are watching us live on the stream. For those who are podcasting us, obviously this is the end of part 1. Part 2 will be in the next podcast. But for the folks who are joining us on Twitch, we will be starting up again in 5 minutes as we take a tour of our own individual facilities.
all right, I will play us out.
Deep within the core of the forest can be heard and hear a spirit song sealed from long before. Now awaken to devour the essence of our soul.